Hello, this is Mr. Koropa, your mathematics tutor. Today we have come for the third lesson in this series. I just want to remind some of you, if you have not managed to buy a book, make sure that you buy a book. Start from the first lesson that we had, copy what is there, then the second lesson, copy the second lesson, then we are looking at the third lesson. Make sure that you also copy what we are going to give you for this third lesson. This is a tuition, so we'll teach you from the simple topic to the complex one. So in short, we are going to start from the grade 10 work to grade 12 work. We are going to give you everything. There are a lot of videos that are coming. So make sure that you buy a book, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification notes so that you receive all the videos that are coming. And I've come to see that there are a lot of people who are sharing my videos and who have shared the past two videos. If you have friends that you love, that you care, those that you think they are going to benefit in these lessons that we are giving, don't hesitate to share with them. Make sure that you share so that we succeed together. So let's begin our third lesson. And this third lesson, we're going to look at the like terms and unlike terms. So what are like terms and what are unlike terms? So let's write some notes so that we can understand these like terms and unlike terms. These notes. These notes are very important. Make sure that you copy these notes so that you understand what we are talking about. So we are looking at like terms and unlike terms. So what are like terms and what are unlike terms? If someone will tell you to say you two you look alike, what does that mean? I think it's a simple example that we can give. When you look alike, it means you are looking the same, not so. So from the definition we can say like terms are terms with the same letter or letters. The terms with the same letter or letters. We are looking at the letters, not numbers. You can have same numbers. For example, in this case we have like terms. We have 3x and 5x, sorry. So we have 3x and 5x. What makes these two to be like terms is because of the letter. All these terms, they have letter x, which makes them like terms. So like terms are terms with the same letter. Don't look at the numbers. You can have 3x and here 3y. These are not like terms. Why? We are looking at the letters. Here we have x, there we have y. So these are not like terms. Like terms, they have same letter. So that's under this one. Let's look at this one. Numbers themselves, they are also like terms. If you look at 8 and 2, this 8, it has no any letter, and this one also is just a whole number. It's a number without a letter. So all those numbers, although we have a negative, don't look at the versus the negative. We are looking at the letters. This one, it has no letter. This one, it has no letter. So we have like terms. Numbers themselves, they are also like terms. So take note of that. Let's try now to look at unlike terms. What are unlike terms? Unlike terms are terms with different letters. If you see the terms, even if we have same numbers but we have different letters, you should know to say we are looking at the unlike terms. So unlike terms are terms with different letters. Look at this example. We have 2 here without a letter. We have 3y there with a letter. So these, they are unlike terms. Why? This one, it has no letter. This one, it has a letter. So we are looking at the letters. When you are talking about like terms and unlike terms, we are simply looking at the letters. This one, if it has x, this one it has y. Those are unlike terms. If you have this one, this number, any number being x and this any number being x, we are calling them like terms. Let's hope we are following. This is your class. Let's hope you are enjoying the lesson. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends, because we have a lot of things that are coming. You know, we have been learning Tuition Center, and we have seen that a lot of pupils are having challenges in mathematics, especially the grade 12s and those who are writing. So this is why we have created this channel. We know it's not everyone that can afford to pay the tuition fee that we charge at Coropass Tuition Center. That's why we have decided to give out this for free. So don't miss this opportunity. Try to subscribe, buy a book, so that each and every time, whatever notes that will give you, you are able to copy the notes. We'll also be revising the past papers. So after we finish what we are calling level 1, because there are times when we teach you at a certain level, we mostly give the tests at Coropass Tuition Center. But for you, once we reach at a certain level, we are going to get the past papers, different past papers from 2016 up to 2021, and see how questions comes in the exam, and we are going to tackle them. So don't miss this opportunity. You can only get more videos if you are able to subscribe and you click on the notification button. So let's continue our lesson. So let's look at the other example. We have 4x and 4xy. Have you seen here? This one is confusing if you are not careful. Here we have 4, there we have 4. We also have x, there is also x. But this one, it has no y, which makes these two to be unlike terms. Unless if we add y as well there. So you may have 3x and 2xy, where we have x, but no y this side. So if we don't have the y there, we can't say these are like terms. They are also unlike terms. Now, why are we learning about all these things? Our lesson today is actually based on this point, and that's why if you look at the notes that we have, all these words, we can only see this word which is in capital letter. Why is it written in capital letter? It's because the point which is down here is very important. If you miss this word, then even knowing the like terms and unlike terms, it's nothing. So we should understand to say, unlike terms, these unlike terms, terms with different letters, they cannot be added. You can also underline this. They cannot be added or subtracted. Unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. Take note of that. I'm not talking about multiplication, I'm talking about addition and subtraction. Unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. You should have that in your mind. So the example that we can give you, look at this one. We have 3x squared. This is the squared. We're going to look at the squared, I think, in the next lesson, so that you can understand where are we getting this power to, where are we getting this squared. The lesson, watch out for the next lesson, because this is what we're going to look at. So we have 3x squared plus 2x. This one, it has a power 2. This one, it has no power 2. So this makes these two to be unlike terms. So you can't add it to say this plus this, you get 5. Because if you are to get 5, you get 5. What are you going to write there? Are you going to write x squared or x? So this is confusing. Unless if you have 3x plus 2x. This is very easy, because you just be able to add 2 plus 3, you get 5, and that 5 you add the x. So these two are unlike terms, and we can't add this, so the answer will just come out the same. So take note of that. These are like terms and unlike terms. Take note of that and make sure that you understand this point. So we have looked at these points now. How do they ask questions? Whether in the exam or ever under these like terms and unlike terms. We are going to look at the examples now. Let's try now to look at the examples under the like terms and unlike terms. So we are taught to simplify. Very important. Simplify. To simplify, what does that mean? If you look at this question, it's too long. So when we talk of simplify, we want to reduce this question. In short, if you look at this question, it has 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has 4 terms. So in these 4 terms, we want to reduce it to like 3 terms or 2 terms. So that means we have simplified. So let's look at question A. What are we supposed to do? We are told to simplify. If you look at this question, it's a mix of like terms and unlike terms. So what you are supposed to do when you are told to simplify a question like this one, look at this one, this term that we have. We have 3x here. Then in this 3x, look at the other side. Do we have the other term, which is the like term to this? So there is a language that we use when you are simplifying. We say we are going to collect the like terms. To collect the like terms, it's just simply to put the like terms together, to bring the like terms closer to each other. So let's look at 3x. So if you drop this 3x, very important, make sure that you drop the first term. So in this case, the first term is 3x. So I look at the terms that I have there. I have x. So I have to bring x closer to this 3x so that I bring them closer to each other. It means I've corrected the what? The like terms. So you look at the sign of what? X. When you are looking at the sign of x, we have this sign and this sign, and this x is in between. So the like term or the sign is supposed to be written in front. We always start by writing the sign. So if you are to write it +3, we write it in that way. We can't write it like that. So for the number, the sign is supposed to be in front. So this positive is for x, so the x will come closer to that. Then this is, you drop that, you bring that closer. So it means we have corrected the what? The like terms. Remember we talked about the like terms. We said like terms are terms with the same letter. So let's look at +2. So we are now going to write this +2. You write it here. Then what other like terms do we have for +2? Because this +2, it's a number without a letter. So we also have +4, which is a number without a letter as well. So we'll write it there. Yes, so we have to add the like terms. Remember we said unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. What does that mean? Like terms can be added. So we are going to add these two because they are like what? They are like terms. But look at the previous lesson. And if you are just watching us, you are just watching this video without watching the previous video, make sure that you go back and check what we posted for the previous video. What did we post? So if you learn that, it will be very easy for you to connect today's lesson. So what we said is, in front of x, if the letter is no number, it means we have the invisible one. That's what we said, if you remember very well. So we have the 1 here, so we say 3 + 1. So 3 + 1, it will give you what? Give you 4. Then 4 what? We are dealing with the x. So that will be 4x. Then you look at here. When you look at here, don't rush. Don't just look at positive. Look at what we have here and check the signs. What do you have? Do you have same sign or different signs? So in that case, we have same signs. Then what did we say about same signs? Same signs, we said we are supposed to add and maintain the sign. So which sign are we going to maintain? We're going to maintain the positive, then we add the numbers. So which numbers? Which is 2 + 4. 2 + 4, you get a what? A 6. Then when you reach here, the mistake that you can make is adding this. I'm emphasizing it. Don't add these two. Why? These are unlike terms, and we said unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. You can't add these two to get 10x. If you just write 10x, this is the reason why most people fail mathematics. you should understand the concept. So we are talking about like terms and unlike terms. This lesson it will come in other lessons. So make sure that you understand it. So you can't add this. So your question is going to end there. These are unlike terms. They cannot be added or subtracted. Let's quickly look at question 2. Or rather question B. What are you supposed to do? You do the same. You do the same. So you are also going to correct the like terms. Then the first term, you drop it. Make sure that you drop the first term, which is 5y. Then do we have the other term which has y, which is like term to that? Yes, we have. Which is what? Which is negative 3y. So I'm going to bring negative 3y closer to 5y so that I've corrected the like terms. Bringing the like terms closer to each other is what we are saying we are going to correct the like terms. So in the next lesson, if I ask you to say, or if they ask you at school to say, what are we supposed to do there? Just tell them to say, we are going to correct the like terms. A teacher is going to understand to say, to correct the like terms is just to bring the like terms closer to each other. So let's continue. Then we also have this one. This is now negative 6x, which is like term to positive x. These terms are coming with their signs. So this x it will come with its own sign. Then we add and subtract the like terms. It's very simple. 5 minus 3. You get 2. 2 what? 2y. Then what do we have there? Don't just look at the positive. That's a mistake that you can make. Don't just look at the positive and say, oh, 6 plus x, 6x plus x. No. Look at the sign that we have there. Then you ask yourself, are these same signs or different signs? So if you have different signs, you are supposed to subtract. If you have same signs, you are supposed to add. Different signs, you are supposed to subtract. Take note of that. Check our first lesson. This is what we had. And that's why I said it's very important for us to begin from the first lesson so that we can understand the signs. So there we have different signs. We are going to subtract. Once we subtract, we maintain the sign of the what? The bigger number. So 6 minus, there we have 1, which is invisible. That's what I said, not so. Yeah. So this is 6 plus or negative 6 positive 1x. So that is 6 minus 1. Why are we subtracting? We have different what? Different signs there. So 6 minus 1, we get 5. Then we maintain the sign of the bigger number. We don't just get that sign. We look at the sign of the bigger number. So it's negative 5x. Then here we can't add these. These are unlike terms. So we are going to end there. Yeah, so that is B. Let's quickly look at question C. Doing the same, we are simplifying, so we have to collect the what? The like terms. So let's collect the like terms together. Yes. What are we supposed to do? Yes, you watching. What are we supposed to do there? Yes, very good. You have answered correctly. I can hear someone saying we are going to drop 5. Then we bring 8 closer to 5 because they are like terms. You are very much correct. Very good. But don't forget to subscribe because you miss what will be coming. Yes, let's continue. So we'll drop 5. Then negative 8. Then this one. You can also start with this one. It's fine. It's fine. You can also start with negative 4x or sort 4n. 4n, then negative 2n. This one, you ask yourself to say, are we having same sign or different signs? But here in front you say, what do you have here? Because we have no n sign. So if you have no sign, we said we have a positive, which is invisible. So having different signs, we are going to subtract. We'll say 8 minus 5. When you say 8 minus 5, you get 3. Then you say which sign is your answer going to maintain? Your answer is going to maintain the sign of the what? The bigger number. And what is the bigger number in this case? It's 8. So we are going to have negative 3. Then here they are also like terms, but you look at, don't just slash and look at the negative. That's a mistake that you can make. Most students have been making that mistake. They just look at the negative and say 4n minus 2n. When you just say 4n minus 2n, you are going to get a 2, which is wrong. So look at the signs. Combine with this sign that you have. Look at these two signs. Are we having same sign or different signs? There you have same signs. And in the first lesson we said, when you have same signs, you are supposed to add. So we are going to add and maintain the sign. So this will be this plus that, you get 6. Then you maintain negative 6n. And these are unlike terms, they cannot be added or subtracted. So we have ended there. So let's hope you are following. This is the last question that we are going to look at. I think this one is a bit different from what we have covered. So make sure that you pay much attention, because some of you, you have just said, oh, you have just mastered to say, when you are given 4 terms, 2 terms they are like terms and the other terms they are like terms. No, sometimes you can be given something like that. So if you look at this, always drop the first term. It will be very easy. I'm advising you to drop the first term. Always when you are taught to simplify, drop the first term, then you start bringing the other terms. So we have positive k. So having k, then you look at the like terms to k, which is what? Positive 2k. Having positive 2k, we are going to look at positive 3a. So if you look at positive 3k, positive 3a, it has no like terms, but we have this. So we can also just drop the 5. Then we add the like terms. So this one we are going to add it. This is the same as 1k. So we have a 1. If we don't have a number in front of a letter, it means there is a 1 which is invisible. So that it's 1 plus 2k, which will give you 3k. But if you look at what we have here, we don't have the like terms. So you can't subtract these two or add these two. Here there is a, there are no a. So you are just going to drop what we have there, which is just going to be like that. And the question just ended like that. So these are the questions. So giving you the homework, what you can do now is, if you need the homework, make sure that you comment there in the comment section. Try to comment to say, sir, I need the homework. Then I'm going to send you the homework so that you, as you are revising, you are able to go through this work. This is our lesson that we have. Next time, we are going to look at the multiplication. And if you have not subscribed, I don't know what you are waiting for, because you are going to miss a lot of things that are coming. So next lesson we are going to look at multiplication. We want to understand, to know, when I say y squared, where does y squared come in from? So this is the lesson that we are going to have next time. Make sure that you check, you watch all the videos that we have posted so far, so that you are able to connect the lessons that are coming. And don't forget to share with your friends that you love, because we don't want you to benefit alone. We want others to benefit in the lesson that will be given to you, so that we can pass together, we can move together. We want to succeed together. Thanks very much. This is your tutor, Mr. Kolopa at Kolopa's Tuition Center. Thank you.